Be patient to the last, Romans, countrymen, and lovers. Hear me for my cause, and be silent, that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censor me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be in any of this assembly any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say, that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living die all slaves, than Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him, but as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him I have offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus, none!
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offences enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as for which of you shall not. With this I depart, that, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live! Live! Let him be Caesar!
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony, do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony by our permission is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony has spoke.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under the leaves of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me, but Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world, now lies he there. And none so poor do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who, you all know, are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead than to wrong myself and you. Then I will wrong such honorable men. But here's parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet, 'tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, a big hair for him for memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeathing as a rich legacy unto their issue.
The will, we will hear Caesar's will.
Have patience, gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, and it will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, oh, what would come of it? Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men, whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men. They were villains, murderers. The will, read the will.
You will compel me, then, to read the will? Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend, and will you give me leave?
Come down, descend.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time I ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas the summer's evening in his tent, the day he overcame the Nervi. Look, in his place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what rent the envious Casca made. Though this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked the cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved, if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all, for when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than the traitor's arms, quite vanished him, then burst his mighty heart, and, in the mantle muffling up his face, even the base of Pompey's statua, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here is himself marred, as you see, with traitors.
Revenge, about, seek, burn, fire, kill, slay. Let not a traitor live. We'll hear him, we'll follow him, we'll die with him.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to touch a sudden flood of mutiny. That they that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not. That made them do it, they are wise and honorable, and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, but Brutus is. But as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, that love my friend, and that they know full well, that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit nor words nor worth, action nor utterance, nor the power of speech. To stir men's blood, I only speak right on, to tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, that were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise in mutiny.
We'll mutiny, we'll burn the house of Brutus. Away then, come seek the conspirators.
Why, friends, you go to do you know not what? Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, To every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 25 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar will revenge his death.
Hear me with patience. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards. On this side of Tiber he hath left them you, and your heirs forever common pleasures, to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another?
Never, never come away, away! We'll burn his body in the holy place, and with the brands fired that traitors' houses, take up the body, go fetch fire. Pluck down benches, pluck down forms, windows, anything.